Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? So first off, in the daily financial news, I highlighted that we were going to be speaking with both Jonathan and Anna this morning. Unfortunately, Anna had an emergency come up in her business, and we are actively trying to reschedule that. We'll see if it gets done. Right now, I'm hoping to record that interview tomorrow. Worst case, Anna will be back with us next Wednesday. That said, we just completed the interview with Jonathan Twomley, and it is one you are going to want to check out. We talked about many things, of course, unemployment, but the meat of the conversation is, hey, what happens if Trump wins the election and we get 4 more years of Mr. President Trump? Or what happens if we get 4 years of Biden? We talked about taxes, stimulus, housing, infrastructure, manufacturing. We compared and contrasted what may or may not happen if either gentleman is elected to office. No, ahead of time, it is a long interview. I believe it will go out at over an hour, which is pretty long. But again, I think it's one of those interviews that if you are thinking about what happens if either is elected, that you are going to want to check out. What this video about is really a follow-up on a hot take I did last week about Q4. I still believe and shared in that video that I thought Q4 was going to be probably the most painful quarter of 2020, which is saying a lot, right? We suffered through 30% drop in GDP in Q2. We saw savings rates explode, into the teens in Q2. I still am on record believing that Q4 is going to be painful for more people than it should be. That said, though, if you flip the script, you get to 2021. I am rather bullish on 2021. I believe in that Q4 video, I highlighted a quote which I'll bring here again. I think it's from a country song. If you're going to go through hell, just keep going. I believe that is Q4 for us. We get through it. And as the discussion with Jonathan discusses, I think if either man is elected president, we can look for good things in the next year, the next 4 years. They will be different. There will be ups and downs. There's this and that based on that conversation. Definitely need to check that out. But I feel good in saying that regardless of who is elected, we get some more stimulus. It will be likely too late to help people that are going to suffer more than they should for the next couple of months. We did highlight that, if one of the gentlemen is elected, that maybe the stimulus is earlier than the other. We did talk about the stimulus for the other gentleman is likely bigger in cases. So again, lots of discussion on stimulus, but I believe something happens. Worst case early next year. In addition to that, we are both on record to talk about infrastructure, right? Rebuilding America, investing in America, being a significant thing next year. This is important because, again, this will help bring unemployment down. It will be good paying jobs. It will be one way that we slowly build out of this. So infrastructure investments are going to be interesting. We also talked about bringing manufacturing home, what we thought about that. We talked about housing, what happens there, whether it's helping with housing assistance or a tax credit for purchase. So lots of stuff to talk about that in this discussion with Jonathan. The thing that I believe comes back in 2021 is we actually start new businesses. When you go back and look at 2020, it is going to be the year that small business died. I can see that headline already. 2020, the year that small business died. What is 2021 going to be? 2021 is going to be the year that small businesses started. I believe for all the horrible, tragic, disappointing numbers that we will see in Q4, and I believe they're going to be bad and record-breaking, we are going to see the reverse of that next year. You can't keep, I really believe you can't keep America down. The capitalist system, the animal spirits, the need to serve and build profit is real. I believe once you get rid of the overreaching government intervention in many states and areas, that the small businesses will start They will thrive. They will have a cost basis that their legacy providers didn't have. Think about rent in San Francisco, for example. I've read articles just in the last couple of days that rent is down 31%. Now, this is residential rent, so I am pontificating that it will carry forward to commercial, but I think it will. If you are a sandwich shop in downtown San Francisco, you've probably closed or will close shortly. Nobody's there. Your lease is too much. You know, a lease on a sandwich shop in San Francisco could easily be $10,000 to $15,000. Guess what? 60% of the storefronts are closed. Those landlords need money. Maybe your next lease is $5,000. Boy, you got to sell a lot less sandwiches to make a profit. So again, I believe 2020 will be the year that small business died. But again, flip the coin over. 2021 is the year that small businesses start. That is going to be fun to watch, and it will be fun to watch grand openings instead of closings. Everything must go. I am seeing those signs, closing, everything must go, heartbreaking, because you know that somebody's life was that business. But next year, think about all the grand openings we're going to get to go to. It's going to be awesome to see those come back and build. I do believe in the animal spirits of the capitalist system. Capitalism, I believe, is the best system out there. Yes, there is destruction. There is the bad times, which we are definitely suffering through. But boy, when the good times get rolling, it can be fun to watch, and I think we are heading in that direction. I believe housing, which is a bright spot, a brightest of bright spots today in 2020, continues in 2021. And as we talk about in Jonathan's interview, which is actively uploading, it's now 22% done. It should be up in the next couple hours. There are lots of things that could be coming to housing to make it even brighter. I think the single family home ownership, which are two things that I am a strong believer in, get better in 2021. I actually see price increases for the nation in 2021, even though there are plenty of YouTube entertainers talking about a crash. I'd love to debate one of them, have those discussions, because I just don't see it happening. And lastly, I think something is going to happen in the stock market. I think the stock market in 2020 is going to be, was or is about big tech. The 5 or 6 or 7 largest tech companies having a disproportionately great year. I believe what we are going to see in 2021 is a rebalancing, a broadening out, whatever you want to call that. I believe the restarting economy or the consumer economy starts to get legs, which probably means big tech gets sold off because there's a lot of money sitting there. But more of the market will get a bid. We will start to see more companies trade above their 50-day moving average. I think 2021 is going to be the year that consumer staples sees a bid. It is going to be, I think 2021 is going to start slow, but it's going to build, and the good news will become better news, and the better news will become great news. While I think Christmas this year is canceled for lots of people, I see next year's Christmas being just a party. And I really hope it is for you as well. So in the end, I wanted to make sure I created this video. Again, sorry that we couldn't get Anna's interview scheduled today. I'm trying for tomorrow. If not, it will be next week. But again, you're going to want to watch that interview with Jonathan. It is now 24% uploaded, so it will be uploaded in a couple hours. But again, you're going to go through hell, Q4, keep on going, and let's get to 2021. Let me know what you think. Take care of yourself. Have a wonderful day.